tiny girl from Manila sings like Lady Gaga on stage, loudly crying. Face fire. Judges left in total shock on AGT. The lights inside the grand auditorium of America's Got Talent glimmered like stars, and the audience buzzed with the kind of excitement only moments before magic happens. Backstage, a tiny 9-year-old girl named Mira Dela Cruz clutched a small, worn-out microphone toy, her good luck charm since she was 4. Her shoes were a size too big, borrowed from her cousin, and her heart pounded so fast it felt like a drum inside her chest. "Are you nervous, sweetheart?" asked the stage assistant gently. Mira smiled timidly. "A little, but my mama says when I sing, angels listen." Her mother, Luz, stood nearby, tears glistening in her eyes. They had flown all the way from Manila, Philippines, after saving for years. Luz worked double shifts as a hospital janitor, often skipping meals so Mira could take cheap online singing lessons. For them, this wasn't just a competition, it was hope. When Mira finally stepped onto the stage, her tiny figure looked almost lost under the giant lights. The judges, Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel, watched with curiosity. Simon leaned forward, clearly skeptical. "Hello there. What's your name, little one?" "I'm Mira, from Manila," she answered, her accent soft but clear. "And how old are you?" "I just turned 9. The audience chuckled warmly. "And what will you be singing for us today?" Simon asked. Mira took a deep breath. "A song by Lady Gaga. It's called Shallow." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Shallow. That was no small feat, even adults struggled with that song. Simon raised an eyebrow. "Well then, the stage is yours, Mira." The music began, soft piano chords filling the hall. For a moment, Mira stood still, her small hands trembling. But then, she closed her eyes. And when she opened them again, something changed. Her voice came out pure, powerful, and soulful. Like it carried all the dreams of every child who ever dared to believe. It wasn't just mimicry. It was emotion. Each note soared with longing and heart. The audience froze, jaws dropping. Simon's pen fell from his hand. Heidi covered her mouth. Even the stage lights seemed to shimmer brighter, as if moved by her voice. When she reached the chorus, "I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in," her tiny body shook with passion, her eyes glistening with tears. And in that moment, everyone forgot her size, her age, her background. She wasn't just a little girl anymore. She was a star. As she finished the last note, silence filled the room. Then, a thunderous wave of applause erupted, echoing through the hall like a storm of love and awe. People stood, clapping and cheering. Simon slowly rose to his feet, something he rarely did. His eyes were glassy. "Mira," he said softly into the mic, "I've been doing this show for a long time. But I've never seen someone your age sing with such emotion. That was breathtaking." Mira gasped, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her mother sobbed backstage, covering her mouth as the audience began chanting, "Golden buzzer. Golden buzzer." And then, slam, Simon hit the golden buzzer. Gold confetti exploded everywhere. Mira fell to her knees, crying with joy as her mother ran onto the stage to hug her. They held each other tight under the shower of gold, two souls who had fought through hunger, struggle, and miles of ocean to get there. As the music played and the audience roared, Simon stepped forward. "You remind the world why we do this show," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "Because sometimes, true talent comes from the most unexpected places." Later that night, in the hotel room that still smelled faintly of instant noodles and hand-washed clothes, Mira looked out at the city lights of Los Angeles. "Mama," she whispered, "do you think Daddy saw me from heaven?" Luz smiled gently, tears falling again. "Yes, Anik. He's your biggest fan." The next morning, social media was ablaze. Tiny Filipina girl stuns AGT with Lady Gaga voice. Headlines spread worldwide. Celebrities reposted her performance. Even Lady Gaga herself tweeted, "This little girl just reminded me why I started singing." But for Mira, the fame wasn't what mattered most. When asked in an interview what she wanted to do if she won, she didn't talk about fame or money. Instead, she said, "I want to build a music school for kids in Manila who can't afford lessons, because maybe another voice like mine is waiting to be heard." That simple statement went viral again. Donations poured in from all over the world, and months later, a small music center opened in her hometown, painted in bright yellow and blue. On its wall, in big bold letters, it read, "Sing from the heart, and the world will listen." Years later, people would remember that tiny girl, not just for her golden voice, but for her golden heart. Because in a world full of noise, Mira reminded everyone that sometimes, the smallest voices can make the loudest impact. And somewhere in the night sky, under the same stars that once shined over the AGT stage, a little girl from Manila had sung her way into the hearts of millions, and taught the world that dreams, no matter how small, can echo forever.